I have no idea what I'm doing, which is sort of a tricky position for someone like me because I kind of look like I always know what I'm doing. Maybe it's the suit, maybe it's the hair, maybe it's the mustache, the dark, beady eyes, and the lack of eyebrows. When someone like Grian says they don't know what they're doing, everyone believes them because it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But someone like me, I look like I constantly have a plan, and I can tell you now, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with this area. This thing has actually been keeping me up at night because I like this idea. Like, I think if I built this all the way around the base, it would look good. But equally, I really do think we can do something cool with the tinted glass. But this is just way too dark. It's way too dark. You can't really see any of the details. There's kind of no point in putting effort into the things down low because you can barely notice them. With that being said, there is an item that could really help us, and I assumed I would be able to find it in this mess. I'm still hoping I should be... How does anyone live like this? Honestly, I think it will be faster for me to gather the resources myself than steal them from whatever this is. Ooh, finally! And before you all get angry at me, we have a gentleman's agreement. That gentleman's agreement being we both steal from each other and hopefully the amounts even out. Now, glow lichen gives off a really small amount of light, so hopefully this should create little pools of light which will look really nice underneath the tinted glass. And it kind of does. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that still looks quite spooky, but we can still see all of the details and everything. I think this could be... Is this the winner? Why am I so indecisive? I know this sounds really stupid, but I kind of wish the light was a little bit cooler. That light is warm. I don't think of glow lichen as giving off warm light. Okay, this is going to sound even more insane. I really like the way this looks while I'm holding a skulk sensor. Why does that affect things? And why does it look so much better? What is this? I sincerely don't know what I'm doing. After considerably more bimbling, I finally know what I'm doing. I've reduced the amount of glow lichen, I've added some bits and pieces, we now have some sound effects that definitely aren't going to get annoying over time. I think I've got a good idea. And the first step of the process is arguably one of the most weirdly satisfying. I've missed this immensely. And the stone part's even more satisfying. I forget how good that noise is. So, I now have a big old channel going all the way around my base area that is looking... rather good. Like, it makes my base look way taller, but I have to say it is looking quite boring at this point in time. I mean, if I left it like this, I'm curious. How does it look? I mean, weirdly, it kind of looks quite cool, which is good, because that means that this channel that we're creating is just going to make it look way better. Honestly, how does this look good? How does it look cool? I don't understand. I'm getting carried away. Now I just need to gather up all of the resources required to construct this thing. Skulk, black stone, and then we've got the deep slate and all of the twirly things. The skulk has been gathered from the Grumbot skulk supply. Basalt is being gathered from the nether. That was actually black stone. Now I'm gathering all of the basalt from the nether. Oh my goodness, my worst nightmare just happened. I just broke a redstone contraption that looks technical. It all happened so fast. It all happened so fast. I mean, an arrow just got fired through a portal. I have no idea where that arrow just went. I'm so sorry if that then breaks something. In my very, very honest and humble defense, this piece of polished blackstone was in with other bits of blackstone, and I have haste on from a beacon somewhere, so I was just flying through. I didn't even realize. I'm leaving this place. I'm never coming back here. Potentially server breaking blunders aside, now I'm down in the mines gathering up all of the deep slate, and this should be the final piece of the puzzle. Oh, this is a nice bonus. And with my little twirly field growing, I think I now have everything. So now it's time to actually start this build. But before we do that, I miss my friend Grian. You see, last week I had an uncontrollable urge to return to the Hermitcraft server, and when I returned, I discovered this rather strange looking thing. Now it turns out this was used by Grian and Scar to try and summon me back. Scar said that he was chafed a lot, but clearly it worked, because, well, I'm back here. I'm back on the Hermitcraft server. Now I've tried to talk to Scar about this, but every single time I message him about it, he's busy, and I'm starting to think that maybe he's avoiding the whole situation. It definitely feels like this was Grian's idea, but you see, Grian is currently away in Vietnam, and I really want him to come back onto the Hermitcraft server, so I'm thinking maybe I might be able to use the same method to get him to return. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I mean, what does his head look like? If I wanted to make a really simple version of Grian's head, what would that be? I mean, is this right? Is this right? It seems really wrong. Seems very, very wrong. If I get this too wrong, I might end up bringing back someone else. I don't know. Okay, I think it's good enough. So now all I have to do is, I guess, kind of walk around this circle a little bit and then say things that Grian would say. Talk to the waffle. Pluck my nose hairs and send me to Alaska. I think I'm going to start a war today. Backs of bases are stupid. Pesky bird. Yeah. I feel like that worked. I think Grian's probably somewhere up in the mountains of Vietnam having a wonderful time, and suddenly I have a pang of desire to return to the Hermitcraft server. I'll be waiting for him with open arms. That didn't sound too desperate, did it? Back to my screeching crevice, which I've just realised sounds a bit weird. I can tell you, with all the beans I've been eating lately, I've got a very screeching crevice. But that's the name that I'm going to be sticking with, the screeching crevice. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just need to start building this thing. And I'm just going to build it kind of layer by layer. I'm going to go up from the bottom to the top. Now I'm looking at it, it's not that big, but I guess it's over a massive area. First layer is now done, and I've made a shocking realization. This is probably going to be super boring to watch in progress updates. Let's do it in the form of a time-lapse. Activating the Mumbo drone. I definitely should have been more enthusiastic while saying that. Anyway, in this time-lapse I want to talk to you about the building process, because this project right here, this tiny little band going around my base has given me so many headaches. And as you've seen towards the end of the previous Hermitcraft episode and also the start of this Hermitcraft episode, I can't stop just fiddling around and changing things. And I 100% thought I was done with the design. I thought I had it nailed. And then I started building it on a larger scale. And I started to realize that actually, I'm thinking that the color contrast that comes with the brighter blocks, the more stony ones, and not really the dark stuff, really helps to separate it from the rest of the base. Please let me explain. You see, I think this looks really, really cool. I think it already looks awesome. I think with some final tweaks, it's going to look wicked. And I think what I did here, I think it's just a little bit too dark. I think if I cover this entire area with tinted glass, then this area, this bit, is going to merge too much with these two bits, and the whole thing, you're gonna lose the contrast between them, and it's gonna muddy up the build. And that is once again evident in the way that I've constructed this area here. You can see the darker blocks basically go right the way up to the top, and there's not that big of a band of the stone stuff, whereas for the rest of it, you can see I've gone really, really low with the more stony blocks, because again, I want to keep that contrast. I want to stop this from looking like it's blending in to these two elements of the build. And yeah, I gotta say, with those decisions made, I think it looks really, really good. Because we kind of have three separate bands. We've got the wall, and then the dark bit in the middle, and then the building itself. And it's all been separated by the stone blocks. Chuff 2 bits. So now I have a quick question. How am I so rich? Like, I know I was always talking about how I'm the richest hermit and everything like that, but I was sort of lying. You know, I only really ever had about 30 diamonds to my name. How has this happened? How have I got this many diamonds? This is more diamonds than I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I've heard about compound interest rates and returns on investment, but converting 32 diamonds into this, I mean, I'm almost qualified to be a TikTok financial advisor. I'm going to start shouting, putting subtitles on my thing, and using acronyms that no one understands. This is absolutely mildly terrifying, but I wonder how many diamonds this actually is. If I die now, I will die in real life as well, I think. Genuinely. Hey, the sheep is coming over. He wants a piece of the action. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually getting bored of placing diamonds. There's just too many of them. Okay, to be frankly honest, this is ridiculous. This is an obscene quantity. This is so stupid. That is a 5x5 area of diamonds there. So each one of those layers is 25 diamond ores. What? How? Where have they come from? This honestly feels wrong, but very right at the same time. 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack, many stacks, very many stacks. Too many stacks. In fact, too many stacks. You know, I've become too rich. I'm too rich. I would once proudly exclaim that I was the richest hermit. Now it's just, I'm embarrassingly rich. Where did all of these come from? Seriously, have I accidentally done the best bank heist in history, but just not realised it? How did this come about? I'm gonna ask around.
Hello, hi.
Hello, you alright?
Hey, there you are.
Oh!
Where'd you go?
How do you use these things? How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I keep getting poked by these guardians, but other than that, it's okay.
Yeah, this is a bit of a precarious place. Look, I have a question for you. Again, it's quite important.
Okay.
So I was looking at my vault, and it turns out someone's left some diamonds in the vault, and I was just wondering, did you leave the diamonds there, and do you want them back?
I did not leave them there, and I am pretty darn clueless as to the how and the why. I know it's got something to do with Rendog, though.
Right. Okay.
He might be someone you want to chase down.
Okay. So you definitely didn't leave any diamonds there.
Oh, I left no diamonds there. They're not mine.
You're so honest. I was.
Oh, right. This was my cue to be like, yeah, they were mine. You know,
of
can I have them back?
No. This is great. You're very honest. When presented with, "Do you want diamonds back?" You're like, "Nope, I'm good."
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm okay.
In fact, you know what? You can have a diamond for your honesty.
Oh!
And I'll be on my way. See you
That's
later.
the real way to earn a diamond right there, my friends.
Yeah. Okay, so Exuma has no idea. What about Etho? I have like a quick question for you. This shouldn't take too long, but so yeah, I was looking in my vault and I seem to have I have a few more diamonds that I kind of expected to have. So clearly there's been some kind of like miscommunication and someone has left some diamonds or lost some diamonds, and I'm trying my best to give them back. So
you have too many diamonds, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm an honest guy, and I just want to make sure that these diamonds make their way back to the correct person. So do you feel like you've lost any diamonds? Are you feeling like you've lost diamonds, maybe? That you've left them in my base?
You're an honest guy, but if you're asking the other person, that would assume they're an honest person too, right?
Oh, no, I totally assume you're honest, 100%.
I did not leave any in your vault.
Everyone's so honest on this server.
I really want to say yes, but you kind of guilted me into being honest.
Oh my goodness. I have so many diamonds that I need to give away. All right. Next up, Impulse. Oh my goodness, this place is crazy.
Hello?
This.
I hear voices.
I can hear you. I don't know where you are though.
Hey, there. I was underneath you.
Oh my goodness. This place is wild. This is so beautiful.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I am well, as you can see, I'm a dwarf.
I can.
So I did a little digging, and this is my dwarven keep.
This is nuts. This is so cool. I mean,
I dug like 500,000 blocks.
I was gonna say this looks like a lot of blocks to have mined. Well, that actually, that's actually very interesting that you say that, because I mean, I assume that. So have you done this all the way down to bedrock, or is that? I mean, it looks pretty low.
It's getting there. It's getting there. I don't know, a little bit left, but yeah, that's the plan. Get all the way to bedrock.
So have you got many diamonds from this? Did you get? Are you?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, quite a few actually. And I mean, I am a bit of a mogul over in the shopping district as well. You may have seen the big iBuy tower over there. That's kind of got all my colors. Yeah.
So, like, out of pure curiosity, so look, I found some diamonds in my vault. Was a bit confused, because obviously I left the server and I was the richest hermit, but then I came back and I was a little bit richer than I kind of expected to be.
Really?
Yeah, and I just wanted to know. You don't think you've lost some diamonds, do you?
I mean, it's highly possible. I got so many, I kind of just like leave them wherever. What did they look like? Like were they in a shulker box, or
just a bunch of diamonds? Yeah, there was like there was some in shulker boxes, and then a couple in kind of block form. Does that sound familiar?
Sounds like how I would have maybe left them, right?
No, just out of pure curiosity, because I need to do like a small amount of security, because
sure.
How many do you think you would have left, if you were to just ballpark it?
It probably like is a stack or so of like blocks somewhere in that vicinity.
A stack or so of blocks. That's quite a large number of blocks.
Yeah. I mean, I might have spread them out a little bit for this safekeeping. Okay. A vault seemed like a secure place to keep them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there does seem to be a slight discrepancy in the number of diamonds that have been left, unfortunately. I mean, look, I'll give you some diamonds, because clearly if you've lost like a stack of diamond blocks, that's slightly concerning, but equally, it was considerably more diamonds that were left. It was about 70 stacks of diamonds. So
70 stacks of diamonds.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
okay, maybe those weren't mine.
Okay. I thought you were gonna still try and go with it. It's like a limit. It's like, oh yes, the 70 stacks that I've missed.
Oh right, yeah, that's the number. You got me. I can't remember where I keep them all these days. I got so many.
But that, look, yeah, you're clearly struggling.
Look, these are really not yours.
No, well, no, they're not mine. I mean, I have so many diamonds, I don't even know what to do with them. And despite my best efforts, I still don't know where they came from. So I guess I'll come back to that at a later date. For now, I'm going to return to the comfort of my screeching crevice, because we still have a few bits and bobs left to do. The first thing is adding in all of the spinny bits, because when I left this, I still wasn't 100% certain where I was going to take the direction, but now I'm 100% certain that I'm not going to be doing any tinted glass bits. Next up, I need some form of light source to prevent this sort of thing from happening. And as much as I'm liking the lichen, unfortunately, it just doesn't give off a strong enough light level. It's only giving off a light level of, I think, 7. So yeah, that's not really good enough. Oh, except mobs only spawn at a light level of 0 now, don't they? Am I going insane? I feel like they do. This is not a recent change, by the way. This has been in the game for at least a year now. Just remember, I'm out of practice. Yes, that is the case. Okay, so that means that glow lichen could actually be the way to go, because we just need to make sure that our block light level never reaches 0. And then this screeching crevice should be completely critter free. There's critters in my screeching crevice, and then they're not nice. So everything should now be fully lit up. I've kind of walked around and I can't find any spots where the light level is 0, which is absolutely perfect. So the next thing that I've got to do is build up a little bridge, because obviously getting into my base right now is a real pain in the backside. I'm gonna have to jump through here and then walk underneath the door. This is not particularly fancy, but in saying that, I've just come up with something ridiculously fancy for how this door is actually going to work. And no, before you ask, the entire door isn't going to open, but a certain segment of the door is going to open, and I think I have a fun way to do it. I'm getting distracted by redstone. Let's keep building. Bridge. What do I want my bridge to look like? I mean, I kind of like the idea that it's almost like a slightly precarious rope bridge. I mean, that might be a nice way to go. So I've put up both barriers, the little bits on the side that stop you falling into the screeching crevice, because obviously nobody wants to fall into a screeching crevice. Now, in terms of the blocks for the actual bridge itself, I'm thinking copper, and a lot of people were telling me that I need to use a stone cutter to actually make my copper bits, because I then get more for my amount of copper. This is not something I'd realised, so if I chuck this in here... Is that more? That doesn't feel like more. Is that more? It's a lot more. Okay, this is really good. And then... that's the same amount though, isn't it? Am I going insane? I think it was pretty clear at the start of this episode. I don't know what I'm doing. That still holds true. So the entrance of my little base area has now been switched up. This looks considerably cooler, and we don't have that little bump to go over. And I was just playing around with some blocks that I had in my inventory. And honestly, I think this looks good. Like, this looks really good. I'm super happy with this. I don't think I would actually want to change it. I mean, maybe I slightly break up the constant grid and just put in one little copper block there. But other than that, I really like this bridge. And I really like this band here to stop this bridge merging with this door. If that was copper, this would be horrendous. I've kind of pushed some of this out into the area here, and I really need to do something about this. This is not pretty. I think I'll come to that a little bit later. For now, I'm really curious, what does the bridge look like from above? This is kind of how I view my base. I fly in, and that looks really, really nice. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. And actually, as the sun is setting, we can also see the very faint glow of the glow lichen as well. That's having a beautiful effect. I'm liking the swirly stuff coming up. This has all come together really nicely. Given there was an 8-month gap between starting this project and finishing this project, I feel like it's actually come together really cohesively. And it looks like a lovely little build. So now it's time to talk about that very fancy entrance. The entrance that's going to involve bouncing around with the player, opening of segments of the vault, and all sorts of interesting redstone. And it's going to be coming in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!